All right, story number 2 is, what's the title? Scrap iron, but not copper. So scrap iron dealing is resumed, which they did say that they would do. They gave them a ban for what, 6 months, 3 months, or something like that?
6 months, 6 whole months.
6 months from the
6
end of last year.
months.
Wait, end of last year
Let me put, a full disclaimer. I kind of involved in the scrap iron industry in some capacity.
Well, I'm glad that you let the whole world know that.
Not directly, let me say indirectly. So I kind of know how some things as well.
Yeah. You have an insight into the industry. Cool. So they reported this on the 10th of February. Today's the 12th, so we're kind of close. The partial reopening of the scrap iron industry has been greenlit. This was revealed this morning in a press conference by Attorney General Reginald Amor and Minister of Trade and Industry Paula Gopi-Skoon, right? However, there is a catch. The prohibition on the export of copper will continue for at least another year. So the only exception will be for manufacturers who produce copper as byproducts of their enterprises. And so the scrap iron is cool, but they stopped the copper. Now, this article didn't go into why they didn't allow the copper, but I have a very, very strong hunch as to why the copper was taken out of the list of metals that you could use. And it's because people thieving copper cables from our side on the lines, and they don't know what's the difference between a copper cable and a fiber optic cable. What do you think?
That too, and the price of copper was very high, so it was very profitable to steal copper versus scrap iron. You make more money on the pound copper versus scrap iron.
Okay. I follow.
So it was very lucrative.
So the reason why the scrap iron got banned was, I don't know, November or December last year or October, November, somewhere around there.
6 months from now.
Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah. The reason is because they were so desperate to get cable that they went and they cut an underground cable. Mm-hmm. And nobody's run copper underground. But the bandits on them, they don't know the difference between fiber optic and copper. So they cut one of the major backbones of fiber in the country. And every network was struggling because either one or two things. You had a shared use of the data on that, or the load of the internet jumped onto another provider, and that fiber couldn't take it anymore. And it took them a few days to fix that fiber, and I think it cost them some millions, according to the report. I can't remember the exact report, right? But y'all could correct in the comments if you want to. Mm-hmm. And that's the hard part about this, is that it's clearly that people stealing the copper, and they don't know the difference.
Yeah.
And
because,
do you educate them on what to steal or what not to steal? Or
I am not that deep to be educated people. I tell you.
So, no, I'm not saying what you saying. I said generically speaking, just not in any way. Like generically, should you let them know if you're going and collect copper, you should make sure that you get copper that is...
No, I mean, hypothetically speaking, if you're going to collect copper, don't thief it. Get it legitimately.
Okay, but let me say, all right, let me get a scenario. Let me say John or James or somebody come and say, I'm bringing a truckload of metal for you, right? Yeah. And they come and you see some big copper lines that definitely get cut down from a pole.
Yeah.
John go and say, nah boy, I'm not taking that. Or John go and say, where you get that from? And James will be like, I find that at the side of the road, boy.
Well, it depends on probably which dealer you go to. Some dealers will be like, all right, I'll get this amount for it. They ain't asking where you get it from. Most times you get that amount of copper, you already know where it's coming from. It's not a legitimate source.
Yeah. But I'm glad they were smart enough to ban the copper, even if it may be a financial thing where they realize that the price is so high that it kind of forcing people to steal. But I don't want the internet to go down again, boy.
Yeah.
Really.
I admit, I agree people get out on with it. And again, it is kind of, it's kind of where we at as a country in terms of inflation, in terms of crime, people are desperate, and that was one avenue that could have go down, and at that point in time, a lot of people that wasn't traditionally in the industry, they were kind of just opportunists and came in,
Oh, for real?
and just,
tell me more. Oh, I see.
Yeah, because a lot of the people doing the actual stuff wasn't people who in the industry 3, 4, 5 years, they see opportunity. And if you's already abandoned to you living on that type of lifestyle, and this industry here, you could go and, is a low risk. You not to go with no guns, you not to go and hold up nobody, you not to invade no house, you just go thief this, sell it. You don't want nobody guarding it.
So from a technical perspective, is it fair to ask that people who collecting like wires and things should know the difference between copper and, because they know not to cut the high tension wires or else they get shocked.
Yeah.
So they know that for sure. So it had no way that you could just be like, nah, that is not a copper wire, that's fiber. Don't cut that.
Yeah.
It had no way that, there's no knowledge of that way. Especially since it was underground. Because the first time I saw that story, I was like, underground? You really cut a cable that's running under, because that could have been an electricity cable, because it have some electricity cables that's run underground. You could have dead.
Yeah.
Easy.
Most time people don't, it's just be like, boy,
yeah.
I hear about this thing there, this hit the score underground copper, we'll go this time 3 o'clock in the morning, you organize this and like, let's do it. Sometimes they ain't thinking far, they're taking a risk, you just go and do it. But because that tricky thing, to educate people on what is copper and was fiber, you kind of
condoning
the
the movement. I get you. I understand where you're coming from. That would be kind of weird.
And I mean,
like,
I agree the ban is a good, well, in theory is a good thing, try to slow down, the theft and the potential people, internet and thing going on, but on the flip side, like during the 6 months, because since August, the industry down, on the flip side, they could still potentially thief the copper and some people might buy it. Yeah, some people might buy it from you, you'll get a lower price, but, the dealer could potentially stockpile it, and hope that next year they might make a profit on it, you buy it cheap now, sell high next year.
Yeah, wow.
You don't get the person bringing it in a high price. You get them a low price. But again, people, you're taking the focus away from that. So they'll probably naturally focus on the scrap iron. That's what's here and now. That's where you could actually buy and actually sell. So I think both people who collecting and the dealers will focus on the scrap iron, because that's where the cash flow will be right now.
I understand.
If you go with copper, you're kind of taking a risk stealing it, you're taking a risk stockpiling it in the hope that next year it open, and that you'll get a good price with it. So most likely you would bank on the scrap iron. So
yeah, I'm glad in a sense that the powers that be was smart enough to realize that banning the whole scrap iron industry was not the goal, not the best thing to do, but to understand where the problem really was that the copper was being like cannibalized, because it have the general scrap iron industry.
I wouldn't put that on the when I say authorities in the government being smart enough to realize that.
Well, who advised them to not to allow everything but not the copper?
I think the industry was advising them a while now.
So wait. What you're telling me is that the association or dealers or whatever it is was like, here, what's going on?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You could ban the copper, don't close everything down one time.
Right.
Close everything down. And now they just go and ban the copper, which was the original.
Oh, okay.